Everyone knows that public nuisance streamers that go around harassing strangers, causing a commotion, and just making everyone's lives around them more miserable suck. Like, that's not a hot take. Everyone knows that. They're just this miasma of cringe that cause everyone a massive headache. But, as I and many others have pointed out for years now, they do inspire an entire generation of young viewers to be losers like them. Because they do find an audience, they do find success, they make money from it. So it becomes a career path and something that young kids want to do to try and emulate that behavior and be like them. It's fucking tragic, and now we're starting to see the results of all of this.
What the fuck? Put your hand in my food again, and I'm throwing all of your phones.
Hey, you're not touching our phone.
Don't put your hand in my food again. Do not do that. You don't do that.
This young whippersnapper can't be older than 11 years old, and he's already becoming a scourge. He's trying to do what all of the other public nuisance streamers do by just being a societal hemorrhoid. He still has his baby teeth. He hasn't even gotten his adult teeth yet, and he's already doing this shit. He just graduated from suckling milk out of his mother's bosom, and now he's trying to suckle milk out of Jack Doherty's titties here. He's just trying to get that clout through being a piece of shit. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, Charles, are you really going to be insulting an 11-year-old here? And the answer is a resounding absolutely. This needs to be squashed. You gotta put the kibosh on this immediately to learn that this is not acceptable at all. So absolutely, I will be insulting this kid and the entire goof troop that travels with him for these streams. Now, he has thankfully been banned for this, which is one of the very few times I've ever seen Kick ban someone. I imagine it's not a permaban, but it 100% should be. I guess we'll have to wait and see if it is. Yeah, though, this shit absolutely super sucks. So I'm doing a public service here by insulting them. Hopefully it discourages more people like this, and hopefully this kid grows and learns that it's awful. It's not even good content. People are watching you because you are a clown, and they're sitting on the edge of their seat waiting for you to get your ass beat. That is your entire audience. You are a fucking spittoon that they are spitting in. Why would you want that to be your whole brand? His whole stream is basically either arguing or fighting people, and this is him just taking food from a stranger's table. That lady then goes up to confront him, and I'll show you that clip in a moment. But in the same stream, he also gets in an actual fist fight with some other kids. His whole stream is just creating problems and instigating, hoping that someone will fight back, and he just yells and screams about it, or in this case, throws some wet noodle punches at them. So him and his goof troop fight this other group, and they know that they're not going to get their ass beat because they're too young. So the group that's taking these punches doesn't actually fire back. They push him away at one point, but they don't actually swing on him because they know they would be the ones that get in trouble because this is a toddler. So they're using their age as a shield because they know there's going to be no real repercussions.
Don't put your hand in my food again. Do not do that. You don't do that to people.
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you
Stop
are?
filming me.
You're a nobody.
It's a live stream. You can't stop it.
Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?
Give me the phone.
Now you're not touching my fucking phone. Touch my phone, I'm gonna actually do something.
Are you gonna beat me up?
Back the fuck up. Back the fuck. I will. I want to.
How old are you? 5?
Kid's making threats to this woman, then he also has his friend, behind her just in case. It seems like he was contemplating sucker punching her. That's what it seemed like the synapses in his brain were about to fire and tell him to do there. This is his whole stream with him and his friends just wandering around, making problems with complete strangers for no reason. And I'm also using the term friends very loosey-goosey here because I have a hunch that they're not actually his friends. They probably can't stand to be around this annoying shit stain. They're just here because he has some viewers and they're trying to elevate themselves. That's typically how these stories go. I think it's also worth mentioning that he has clearly been heavily inspired by Jack Doherty. Jack Doherty is another public nuisance streamer who does this exact same style of content where he just travels around, makes problems, causes a ruckus, and he has a bodyguard with him so that when anyone tries to confront Jack, the bodyguard steps in and either attacks that person or scares them away and sizes them up, gets them out of there to protect Jack Doherty from the consequences of his actions while Jack peeks around, the bodyguard still lobbing insults at him like a real tough guy. Also, Jack Doherty is probably about the same size as this 11-year-old. So, the reason I say that he's clearly inspired by him is because this kid also travels around with a bodyguard. That's who that dweeb with the TikTok broccoli hair was that's positioned behind the woman here. That's supposed to be this kid's muscle. Or backup, perhaps. Maybe sidekick. I believe it's supposed to be his bodyguard, though, like Jack Doherty has. But the clear difference between Jack Doherty's bodyguard and this kid's is Jack's is a full-grown adult man who is like a professional bodyguard. This kid's is another child who's still afraid of the dentist and probably still wearing Pampers and the head of the anime club. But he is still trying very hard to be like Jack Doherty. And the question needs to be asked, where are their parents? Where in the fucking world are these kids' parental figures?
Do you think I give a flying fuck? Do you? Do you? Alright, hold up. Do you?
Don't do that again.
Hold up. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Let's go.
I couldn't imagine anything more painful as a parent than seeing your son like this, or any of the kids in this group here. It'd be less shameful if they were just addicted to heroin. Now, I know a lot of people default to blaming the parents here because that's a really easy thing to point the finger at, especially with so many parents just sitting their kids in front of an iPad and letting them doom scroll the internet and letting the internet raise their kids. But in a case like this, I don't necessarily know if that's 100% how this happened. I think even if you're someone who's very active in their kids' lives, they can just stumble across something like a kick streamer like Jack Doherty and see him flexing his wealth and be, blown away by that, getting stars in their eyes and be like, I want to be like that. And no matter what the parent does, they can't really snap them out of it. That's just something the kid's going to have to learn through failure and learning that they're going to end up alone and a loser by trying to be like Jack Doherty. But I think there is a clear problem here that the parents aren't here. Like, they're just letting their 11-year-olds wander around IRL streaming. Under no circumstances should a child of this age be fucking IRL streaming on Kick. Kick is a platform that actually has child predators on it. There was a whole expose video about a big streamer who was legitimately a fucking predator. And their kids are now streaming IRL on that platform right now. And even on any platform, I don't think any kids should be doing any kind of streams like this. So I really am curious why the parents aren't more present in their life to allow them to stream for hours like this. That's just downright irresponsible, 100%. But I don't necessarily blame them for the kid trying to be a Jack Doherty clone, a bootleg Jack Doherty. That's something that even if the parents were monitoring their internet usage, he may have just stumbled across through TikTok or Twitter or something and then just got hooked on it. And that's a hard thing to stop as a parent. I do understand that part, but they definitely need to know that this is not acceptable behavior or normal behavior for kids to be doing. Fucking streaming, being an asshole. Come on. The parents definitely got to step up here and do something, I would say. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be the last time we see a kid start to do streams like this. I really do think that streamers like Jack Doherty, who I keep name dropping, but it's just so clear his influence on this kid's life, really do create further degenerates. They just continue this cycle of degeneracy by making more people like this. And it sucks. That shit is terrible. So hopefully I'm wrong and we won't see more cases like this. But man, it's still awful. Even with just one case, that one kid was inspired enough to start trying to do the same thing. It's sad to see. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. That's about it. So yeah. Why do good girls like bad guys? Why do Twitch streamers like to take a shit and ruin their entire career in an instant? I don't have the answers to these questions. I'm not Socrates. All I know is a Twitch streamer yesterday by the name of Carl burned down his entire career in a matter of seconds. And I know hearing streaming and career in the same sentence is vomit-inducing to some. Makes you want to just spit. Gross. I understand because as far as careers go, streaming's one of the easier ones, also one of the safest from coronavirus. Wouldn't be surprised if the WHO starts recommending everyone stops going outside and just streaming League of Legends. But anyway, I get why some people are a bit repulsed by the idea of streaming being a career, but it's time to get with reality it is. And to a lot of people, it's their entire lives, as it was for Carl. And yesterday, in just one brief split second, it all vanished, like the world's saddest magic trick. Let me show you the clip.
Bitch, say I ain't got money. Say I ain't got money. God damn. What the fuck?
This is what's commonly known as a negligent discharge of a firearm, or as we call it on the internet, a big fucking oopsie. Carl just executed a tub of G Fuel live on stream. I get not liking some of the flavors, but to just put it down like the fucking Punisher here is pretty hardcore. You're also probably wondering why he has his grandmother's slipper on his desk. It's because he was doing shoeies, so he was a bit drunk at the time. For anyone that doesn't know what a shoey is, you're too young to be around these parts, but I'll tell you anyway. It's when you pour the alcohol in a shoe and you drink it. It's pretty easy to comprehend, and it's pretty disgusting. It tastes like you're drinking beer out of a septic tank. It'd be better just to drink the beer out of your car's exhaust, at least then it wouldn't taste as fucking gross. But anyway, he was a bit inebriated, and he had his gun on standby just in case some rogue gamer assassins came to steal his V-Bucks, and unfortunately, the man prematurely ejaculated here and did a bit of a desk pop. It just absolutely blasted around through both his tub of G Fuel and a monitor, and luckily no one was hurt. It didn't go through the next room and take out anyone or anything like that, which is lucky, and he didn't kill himself with it, which is also lucky. So it definitely could have been a lot worse, but I do think this is a really good advertisement for whatever fucking microphone he's using, because that shit didn't even clip. It wasn't ear rapey, it was totally normalized. This man just blasted a gun in a very closed environment, and I could barely even hear it. It was barely even louder than his voice. That's shocking. Sometimes when I'm streaming at twitch.tv/moistcritical, I'll casually burp and it sounds like 3 frag grenades going off into the ears of anyone with headphones on. So I don't know what he's using, but this has actually convinced me that I probably need to pick that shit up. Another thing I'd like to point out is I think this actually serves as a really interesting case study into the mind of a Twitch streamer/YouTuber, because after this mistake he immediately gets into YouTube thumbnail position with the classic shock-faced Ali A style, some of these. And then, bubble text over it, this happened? How? And then the circle with the arrow pointing at it, at the gun while it's shooting. Fucking blasting his coffee can and G Fuel shit. So, I think that's really impressive, that speed, to go from, just ruin my career, to, well, let's profit off that. Right into the thumbnail. So, hats off to him for that quick turnaround time, but goddamn, it actually did cost him everything. I'm not exaggerating. He got banned on Twitch, as you'd expect, for, shooting a goddamn gun on it, and you can't even think about titties or ass on Twitch without getting banned, and this guy just fired a fucking gun live on stream, putting down a tub of G Fuel, which is a sin in and of itself. You knew he was getting banned there. He speed ran that. But he also got dropped from his professional gaming organization, SOAR. SOAR dropped him in a matter of hours. It was as if he shot that gun, and it traveled through the wall and hit the CEO. Their response time to that was crazy. They dropped him like a fucking potato immediately. Potato sacked the poor guy. Now, in response to all this, he accepted all responsibility, made an apology video on Twitter, which I have nothing against. It seemed like he understood the repercussions, and he believed he deserved them, and he's going to try to work on his firearm usage, I suppose. I don't know. Pretty much everything you could do wrong with a firearm, he did wrong. He did everything shy of pointing the gun at his own face to check if there was a bullet in it, so he really probably should get some tutoring there. Check out a YouTuber Reddit professional, perhaps, to give him some advice. But really, his apology video is pretty sound. I don't want to put the tinfoil condom on or anything, but how many of us think this could have been premeditated for publicity, huh? I mean, I kind of see it in his eyes. Like, why would he have his gun on his desk, right? Like, I just saw John Wick. I'm going to let some lead fly tonight, get some people pretty energized. But then, damn, blasted my own G Fuel can. It's possible. Unlikely, but I've seen a little speculation. I've also seen a lot of people talking about the punishment being too harsh, considering no one was injured. But I think it's a great lesson to everyone out there not to play with firearms while doing shoeies. Yeah, maybe your parents did it and they're okay, but that doesn't mean you'll be as lucky. All in all, I have to say I really am wishing Carl the best moving forward. This was a mistake that cost him greatly. And I hope it's something he can bounce back from, because I do appreciate the way he handled the consequences. He really manned up, took the cock on the chin and said, you know what, I fucked up and I'm going to be better. And I believe he probably will be. So good luck to Carl moving forward, and let this be a very powerful lesson to everyone out there that guns are not a toy to fuck around with, especially not when you've been taking shoeies to the mouth for an hour. That's about it. So yeah. I'm about to scare you with one little word: moderators. When I say Twitch mod or Reddit mod, Discord mod, you immediately get a picture of someone in your head, and it's not a very flattering image, I imagine. You're probably picturing someone that looks like Urgot out of League of Legends. You know, someone with pizza grease dripping down their poop-stained trousers in a dark room. Some sex-obsessed loser who's always just scheming and talking about getting laid. It's become a very negative title. It's mainly just become an insult. You know, you call someone a Twitch mod during an argument like, "Hey, Buster, stupid face, you look like a Twitch mod." It's like, "Oh, why I never? What did you say to me? Twitch mod? Put him up then, tough guy." You know, it's a title that's got a very bad reputation over the last few years, and right now there's a viral clip going around where it's claiming a Twitch mod said these really weird things during a stream moment.
But I met a girl who's a streamer. I went up to her, I hugged her, and I came in my pants. Wow. Hug her.
Man's looking like he's about to come in his pants again just talking about it, reminiscing on the glory days of that hug. So, the title that's going around with this video is that this is a Twitch mod for a famous female streamer. And that's not exactly the truth of this situation. That's a bogus, phony baloney story here, a load of horseradish just used to generate extra clicks and attention on the video. I actually immediately recognized the guy in the video here because I'm like a fucking librarian when it comes to internet degeneracy. I'm like Jarvis in Tony Stark's Iron Man suit, just this damn near omniscient AI, but all I can fixate on is dog shit internet weird stuff. So I recognized him, and he is like a real-world anime character full of mystery and mystique. There is actually an entire pseudo-documentary about him, which I'll talk about a little bit more, but let me show you the rest of the clip before doing a full dive.
I think you need to get laid a little more often, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was she hot though? Was she like super duper duper hot?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's forgivable if she was super duper duper hot.
Yeah.
Now, if she was only super duper hot, this would be unforgivable, but she was super duper duper hot, and I mean, I think we can all understand a little premature ejaculation from hug contact there, obviously. I mean, that's the threshold, that's the rules. So that's the clip that's really popped off, because it's a goofily, awful, embarrassing moment captured, and he is very proud about the ejaculatory experience here from a simple hug. Like, actual busted nut from a hug. I mean, that's something that you couldn't torture that information out of me. Like, you couldn't waterboard me enough to have me admit to ejaculating from a fucking hug. And yet, here's this man at a bar just telling it like it's an old war story or something, and he's got like an audience around him that's like, "Oh, interesting there, brother, what the fuck?" Yeah, it's a very weird clip, and people keep pointing and laughing at him, obviously, but they also keep calling him a Twitch mod, and that's just not accurate. Now, full transparency here, there is a possibility that he was at some point someone's Twitch mod, but it's not who they were claiming, and he's not known for being a mod of any popular streamers or any female streamers for that matter, but there is a chance that he does or has modded for someone or some people in the past. That information I don't fully have knowledge on, but I do know a lot more about this guy than most people seem to, which is surprising because he's actually very well known in the Twitch community. There is a whole documentary about him. He was a 27-year-old virgin at the time of filming this video here, and it's a very open and honest look into his whole life. He became known for his extremely aggressively sexual comments in people's stream chats, female streamers' stream chats, as well as his tweets, where they're all just sexually charged. A lot of them are about pegging and just how often he's nutting, making his cum face, his orgasm face. Like, it's all very sexually charged stuff. So he got a reputation for being, like, creepy for that. And what's very interesting is that he actually opens this interview with the channel Built Differently with the exact same speech, the exact same proud monologue that he just gave in this viral clip that came out 2 days ago.
Well, there was one time when I met ST Peach. She gave me a hug. I met her the first time, and I ended up jizzing my pants. I ended up leaving the convention, going back to my hotel room, changing my underwear and my pants, and then going back to the convention.
It's got sad music playing like Mr. Krabs on the world's smallest violin, But he seems very proud of this. He's now told this story twice. This feels like it must have been the most exciting moment of his entire being. Like the entire 27 years he's spent on this planet all led up to that moment of filled trousers from the hug. So like he's just very upfront with everything about himself, and he is a virgin, or was a virgin when this was filmed, which I imagine most of you are saying like, yeah, that sounds about right. That's par for the course being a moderator. But his story, like his X-Men origin story, is probably a little different than what you're expecting. He is a virgin by choice. He had a girlfriend, he says it'd been about 10 years, and the reason they broke up is because he didn't want to fuck her without a condom, and she was insistent on him clapping her cheeks raw. I mean, of course, you have to take all of this with a grain of salt. There's a possibility he's just making up erotica fanfic here. It could not be real, but he is telling this story about his previous girlfriend, and now it's been 10 years, and he doesn't masturbate, and he doesn't watch porn. All he does now is have wet dreams and make sexually charged tweets and shit all the time. He also then told a story about how he went up to some girl's hotel room during a convention, and she got naked, and then he said, nope, I'm out of here, not doing that. He is saving himself for the right girl. So he is a virgin by choice until he meets a fucking angel, which is totally fine. You know, he shouldn't feel pressured into having sex if he doesn't want to. But then on the flip side of that coin, why is he always talking about sex? Like, that is his whole brand, is always talking about sex. He has built a reputation on Twitter for, like, replying to female streamers' tweets with, like, pictures of himself and then making conversational sexual topics out of it. It's very weird. So if he is choosing not to have sex, why does he just always talk about it? And then in the same interview, the interview is fascinating, by the way. In that same interview, he says that there's really no streamer that he'd even want to date. Yet he is always like horny posting in their chats and on Twitter. It's so interesting.
I think one other time, this was like the third TwitchCon, but this was like at a party when I was drunk. Yeah. There was a bunch of girls dancing up on me, and I just like, yeah.
That's badass.
Dallas.
He's also just constantly dumping yogurt into his pants anytime there's physical contact with a woman, it seems. He tells a couple instances here where he once again blows his load in his pants. He's like, this is the beginning of the beginning of the interview here. So he was just like proud of it, it seems.
Like 3 times out of the week, I usually wake up and it's like a puddle. If I did, I would feel out of place. You know what I mean? It's not.
Oh, dude, I just forgot that you come on this bed. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be sitting on it. Alright, yeah,
Now, since he doesn't masturbate, allegedly, it sounds like his body is rebelling against him, so he says about 3 times a week he wakes up in puddles of cum. That's a terrible way of starting your day. Waking up in a puddle of cum, just splashing in cum every time you wake up, that sounds fucking terrible. And what I want to talk about briefly here is the way his room is decorated. You can see all of the Twitch merchandise, Twitch everything, and then a Twitch streamer's photo on the shelf behind his bed. So he very clearly lives and breathes the Twitch ecosystem, and I legitimately do find that very sad. I don't think anyone should make a hobby their whole personality, no matter what it is. Whether you're a big fan of Twitch streamers or anything like that, it should never become your whole personality, where everything you do kind of revolves around it, and that's the impression I kind of get from him, where he spends so much time in all of these streamers' chats, and a lot of what he says is sexually charged, and it translates into the real world where he has all of this Twitch stuff everywhere, including like a picture of a streamer that he really, really likes. It almost makes it seem like something out of Hey Arnold with Helga and like the monument she builds for Arnold. It's just, it's an obsession, and that's not good.
Fear because I ejaculate so much in my sleep that the first girl I ever have sex with, I'm going to end up getting her pregnant. I also know that because like I got tested for my sperm, and it's like I got like those double-headed. My sperm count is up there.
The potent god seed, I suppose. Talking about, like, double-headed sperm. Man's got fucking chimera sperm, I guess. Wild stuff. Like I said, it's a very fascinating interview. They eventually take him to a strip club. It's all very wacky. But yeah, I guess the only thing I really wanted to focus on is that the story is wrong around that clip. He's not a Twitch mod. He's something much more than that. He's been well known in the community for a long time now. And still, of course, a very weird clip. In fact, a series of very weird clips from him and very weird tweets and Twitch chat messages over the years. But yeah, I just want to talk about this a little bit, and that's about it. So yeah.
How did my whole speech about how I need subs to keep the stream going, if you like the content, blah, 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 how that results in 0 subs? There are regulars here. $5 a month. How do you have hours of time to watch me and not $5? I don't know. What are you doing with your life where you have hours of time to watch Twitch and not $5 to provide for the content that you're watching? Because it's like people just really really don't respect me as a content creator.
Well, this Parasite's right about one thing. Nobody respects her as a content creator. Now, I'm not going to mention this streamer by name because I'm pretty sure she loves negative publicity. She does fucked up shit all the time just to get her name out there. She subscribes to the idea that all publicity is good publicity, but fails to realize that when you as a person are your own brand and rely on people liking you for money, having a negative public image literally fucking ruins you. And this one is definitely bigger than she anticipated because no one likes someone this shamelessly greedy. She is a streamer who runs political talk shows, but the majority of the stream is spent begging and shaming people into giving her money. And it's some of the most pathetic shit I've seen on Twitch. And I've seen a lot of pitiful, sad shit on Twitch. I saw a man finger his butthole for a $20 donation on Twitch, and I still have more respect for that than I do her. At least him sticking his fingers in his asshole was more fun than all of her streams combined. And somehow him putting nearly his whole fist in his chocolate starfish was still classier than any of this girl's streams. At least he had the decency to not shame the viewers into giving him $20 for sticking fingers up his brown balloon knot. He wasn't on stream going, hello, you broke cheap-ass viewers. I'm sitting here with my beautiful asshole goat seat into the camera, and nobody's giving me $20. My speech about giving me $20 and I'll finger my asshole didn't give me any money. What the fuck is wrong with you? He was very simple about it. He's like, you know what, $20 and I'll finger this asshole right here. You don't have to do it, but if you do, I'll fucking finger myself. And that's how it went. She's over here making a whole song and dance about it, making everyone just feel fucking uncomfortable, and she feels so entitled to their money, which she absolutely doesn't deserve. She provides no value whatsoever. You might as well just flush $5 down a toilet. That's more value than giving it to this girl.
Expecting blah, blah, blah. Like, how are you consuming this free entertainment? Like, how do you think free entertainment is available to you? It's because other people actually provide money so you can be a cheap ass. That's it. Other people provide money because they're generous and they see like a thing that they want to support, a form of entertainment they want to support, and then you leech. But that's the reality of it, period. Period. If you're watching Twitch as a non-donating, non-sub, you are leeching. Does that mean that you should feel bad about it? I don't know. But the reality is that you are leeching.
Such a laughable sense of entitlement, especially when she has no talent at all. Also, she's not making $0 from viewers that watch her for free. Twitch itself places an ad at the beginning of your stream, so when someone clicks on your stream, you're getting money just from that click. And I'm pretty sure she plays ads throughout her streams, which also gets her money from viewers that aren't donating or subbing to her. So I don't know why the fuck she thinks she possibly has the right to complain about not getting an extra $5 from people that either can't afford to or just don't want to because she isn't earning that $5. And she absolutely isn't earning that $5. All she does is insult the chat. She doesn't provide anything at all of value, and I'm pretty sure she hates streaming and only does it to just try and get money out of viewers or guilt them into giving her money, which is super shitty. I'd say 95% of all streamers, myself included, I stream daily on Twitch at twitch.tv/moistcritical. Come stop by if you want to put a few extra inches on your penis. I'd say 95% of all streamers do it just because they love streaming. I know I do. I don't think the majority of streamers are going around just constantly begging for subs and donations, but I know there definitely are a few, her being the biggest culprit, but I'd say the majority of streamers aren't like that.
Chat! I haven't got a donation or a sub for an hour. What the fuck? For an hour? What the fuck? An hour when I fucking working for free? What the fuck?
What a horrible, embarrassing perspective for someone to take on something like this. She has the worst possible attitude. I'm not going to go into her disgusting past. She's done a lot of really fucked up shit and said some fucked up shit. But just this perspective of hers that she is so adamant about, where if you are not paying her, you are a piece of shit. She calls you names, she calls you out by your screen name if she sees you're not subbed. She is the most standoffish, unlikable person on that platform. And it's gotta be kind of embarrassing to be a subscriber to this girl because she's openly hostile and doesn't give a fuck about it. Only there to siphon $5 out of your wallet every month because she feels entitled to it, as if you're just holding her money for her because you flip on her stream to fall asleep to it once every 3 months. But yeah, this narcissist is probably the greediest person on Twitch. She's like the Mr. Krabs of streaming, but not nearly as cool as Mr. Krabs because she has a shitty personality, a horrible attitude, and the worst perspective on things on that entire platform.
And the reason why this is getting retweeted and liked so much is because she's an attractive woman who didn't act like a nice person, which is what makes sexually frustrated incels angry. Woman not acting, woman out of her place, me mad.
Yeah, this hero decides to make it an issue about her being a woman, despite the fact that that is irrelevant to why people don't like it. It's because people don't like someone that says shit like that, and it is that greedy and that disrespectful and that entitled. It has nothing to do with her being a woman. But this guy's trying to score some of those brownie points. Oh, streamer, please look at me fight for you on Twitter. Please let down your long hair so I may take my $5 and climb up and woo you over. It's also really cute that Mike over here decides to call everyone that disagrees with her perspective an incel when he himself is like the fucking king of incels. Check out his first interaction with the streamer.
That's fine. I think that's fine. So if a guy pays for my tab,
I think I'm getting your attention. I feel like I touched like a vampire touching holy water.
can I help you?
Well, I think they want to go in.
Okay.
Whoa there, Mike. I think you made her a little too wet with that alpha energy. Yeah, man, you've definitely got a lot of room to be tossing the word incel around, huh? With game like that? What a fucking player. Great work, Mike. There are people sticking up for her, of course. Buyer's remorse. They've already paid for the subscription and now they feel like they need to justify it to everyone in the world. Like what you like who you like, it's totally fucking fine. But there's very clear reasons why people don't like what she said that have nothing to do with her being a woman, Mike. It has to do with her attitude and her disrespect and that sense of entitlement that she thinks everyone has to fucking pay her to watch her, and then she guilts them into it and shames them and makes them fucking feel bad and attacks them for it, which is wrong, Mike. It's just fucking wrong and it's shitty. It's a bad look and it's pathetic. But anyway, yeah, that's about it. So yeah. We hear about the Florida woman who got her entire driveway stolen. How does that work? Single mother's future in jeopardy after thief steals driveway. How? No way. Now playing above, it's this right here. This is where they put the news segment in the tiniest box on the screen.
And now our Nick Papantonis is looking into the situation.
Well, I'm going to speculate on how they might have done this crime. So they obviously needed some kind of heavy industrial machinery, right? And seeing the recent rise in forklift-related crimes, my guess is somehow they used a forklift, got the tongs under the driveway, and peeled up each individual piece of pavement. And then just stacked it and drove it away. That's my guess. I think a forklift was the culprit. Well, not like a sentient forklift, but like that was the tool used by the culprit.
Ready for Christmas. Of all the things that you worried about getting stolen, did you think the driveway was one of them?
No, not
What
at
kind of fucking question is that? Hey, out of all the possible things that could have been stolen from your house, did you ever think it'd be your driveway? Like, fucking obviously not. That's not a thought any sane person would ever have. Like, you can't exactly padlock your driveway. No one's gonna ever consider that the Grinch might come through and just take the whole pavement up. Why even ask that question? It's super stupid.
One told Brochu a Tampa area man identified as
Tampa.
Andre asked
Let's
them
go.
to price out a replacement.
Again.
1 week later, this
let's go.
Brochu's doorbell camera captured a bulldozer tearing out the concrete and hauling it away.
Jesus Christ.
I've never seen this before.
0 for 1 on guesses. It was a bulldozer, not a forklift.
And believes Brochu is the victim of a scam. But neither woman knows what
Such a
scam
weird,
is.
yeah, it's a weird scam.
People come forward saying that they've seen things like this happen, whether it be driveways, roofs, painting, even outside the exterior. So it's happens more often than we actually see it.
Deputies have launched
I just don't believe that. Why would this happen often? What do they get out of it? I mean, I guess the cat's probably happy about it. They like dirt. But what is the scam? So you have their driveway now. Then what? How do you get money out of it? Do you hold it for ransom? Because even they're saying they don't exactly know what the goal is with it. Can't have shit in Florida, they stole the damn driveway. True. So the house value goes down. I guess, but are they making an offer on the property? Because if not, you get nothing out of it other than just fucking with them. So I guess it could just be evil for the sake of being evil. What a crazy heist.
Tonight. What a bizarre story.
Couldn't agree more there. What a bizarre story indeed. Stealing a whole fucking driveway for no reason. This is some shit out of Ed, Edd n Eddy. Like, actually cartoon logic. Like, stealing a driveway is actually something out of Cartoon Network. The only thing that makes sense is what the chatter said, driving the property value down to make an offer on the house. But it doesn't seem like that's what they're doing, so it really feels completely worthless, and they just stole a driveway just because they had the equipment to do so. There's a guy in Detroit who had his whole porch stolen. Recently? Detroit man says his porch was stolen. This was in 2018. Oh my god. This was in 2018. What the fuck? That is interesting. Oh, wait, it's not real. The first update here. I did it all out of laughs to entertain social media. So this one's fake, but the stealing driveway one's not. Did you see that the Pistons finally won a game? Did I see that the Pistons finally won a game? You bet your sweet bippy I did. I'm a little upset because I predicted they would beat the Celtics, and they almost did. The best meme I saw about it is the Pistons miraculously overcame a 21-point lead in order to lose in the end to the Celtics. And I predicted they would beat them. And they lost. So then I was totally resigned to just let the Pistons lose 60 straight. And then they come back today and they fucking win. It actually made me mad because I could have looked like a prophet. I actually would have looked like a legitimate, like what are they called? Soothsayer? To get that prediction right would have been big for me. But I got it wrong. They won today though. So they snapped the 28-game losing streak. I was reading some of the memes here. I didn't watch the game, I just saw that they posted this. And usually when they post final, it means the Pistons lost in another triumphant fashion. But they actually won, and I was looking at some of the memes. So, Winghouse said every time the Pistons win a game, it's 5 free wings. And that's been a big joke because the Pistons lost for 3 months now, or 2 months, whatever. So it's just been this meme about how everyone's starving, like, oh, no wings, Wingstop got the easiest advertisement ever because they don't have to give away wings because the Pistons can't win. So now I've just been going through the memes here.
Sure hungry. Rev up those fryers, because I am sure hungry.
It's been pretty fire, actually. All they need to do is win 50 games in a row to make the playoffs. That's what I'm predicting. I think now's the time. They got 28 games worth of losses, and as the old adage goes, you learn more from failure than you do success. So they've got tons of invaluable knowledge now. I think they win 50 straight. What does your new tattoo mean? Absolutely nothing. I just really like the design. This time around, I told myself this next tattoo I was getting was going to have meaning. So I once again got a meaningless tattoo. But dag nabbit, I think it looks nice. It's not done yet. I still have to go back, but that's basically the bones of it. It's a balloons map. Yeah, kinda. Once it's finished, it'll be less balloons-esque, but I really like it. I really like how it's coming out. You did this, they could have gotten rid of the 76ers all-time loss record, now they tied it, fuck you. Hey man, I got it wrong. I said they were winning last game. So it's not my fault. Surprisingly, this isn't new. Look up entire driveway stolen in Central Florida. Happened in 2012. This isn't the first driveway being stolen? Yeah, well, you're right. This also happened in Florida too. Man, Florida thieves love driveways. A woman in Reddick, Florida didn't even have to open her front door to realize she had been robbed. That's because thieves stole her driveway. Well, the brick pavers that made up the driveway. Is there footage of it? No. The victim arrived home around 6 p.m. on Tuesday and felt a large bump as she attempted to turn into where her driveway had once been. She got out and realized it was gone. Apparently neighbors didn't think anything of it because construction workers had recently built a barn elsewhere on her property, so no one stopped the thieves as they took the bricks. Thoughts on Mickey Mouse becoming public domain? Oh, yeah. That happens on January 1st. Mickey Mouse is hitting the public domain. Well, Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse. Which is fine. We're going to use him in the MWL, mark my words. We'll have him fight against other public domain property like Winnie the Pooh. Right around the same time as Epstein's List. I wonder what Steamboat Willie was up to. Oh, interesting correlation. So I can promote my own movies with a whistling mouse. I guess. You can use Winnie the Pooh right now if you want. There's a lot of public domain property that you probably don't realize is public domain. Though I think most people know Winnie the Pooh is because of the god-awful horror movie. Did you hear about that devil comet that's going to explode in the next few days before it reaches Earth? We've got to stop naming like comets and asteroids like this. God of Chaos, now the devil comet. Devil comet bigger than Mount Everest racing towards Earth and is set to explode soon. These headlines, brother, please. This isn't Mass Effect. This isn't like the Reapers are coming, please. The Devil Comet, officially known as 12P. What a name. Near Automata shit. Is currently making its way towards Earth and is anticipated to undergo a significant eruption soon. This comet, which is nearly 3 times the size of Mount Everest, is classified as a cryovolcano, which means it erupts due to the buildup and ignition of gas and ice, much like a frozen soda can. That is so badass. The comet is notably large with a diameter of 18.6 miles. That is wild. It's a very short period comet, completing an orbit around the sun approximately every 71 years. A pattern to the well-known Halley's Comet. Comets like this with an orbital period of less than 200 years are categorized as short period. Comet 12P Pons-Brooks is not a recent discovery. Its existence has been acknowledged since 1812, when it was first observed by comet hunter Jean-Louis Pons, who noted it at a fourth magnitude brightness. However, initial observations were not detailed enough to accurately forecast its future appearances. This is one of those very rare, serious videos I make about a situation that I feel is just very important to cover. Last night in Ybor, which is a place that's close to where we live here in Tampa, there was a shooting that left 2 dead and 16 to 18, the reports are varying, injured. It started as an altercation between people that escalated into guns being drawn and fired, and 16 to 18 people were caught in the crossfire. It wasn't a planned mass shooting, it was a fight that turned into a mass shooting, basically. There's tons of footage from this, including the start of the shooting. I'm clearly not going to show you any of that. And unfortunately, myself and my friends were actually there last night when it happened. Like most people in Tampa, we went down to Ybor to party for Halloween. The shooting happened around 3 a.m., and most of us were still out at that time. Half of us were still in a club, like myself, some of us had just started going home, and then one of our friends, Peyton, was actually walking on 7th Avenue, which is where the shooting took place. She said she was only a couple blocks away and actually saw the shooting happen. She then called Caleb, who was with me at the club, and he could hear the gunshots in the background as she was trying to warn us to stay inside and not go out under any circumstances. It's a horrifying nightmare. She mentioned she also saw some of the bodies, and I can't even imagine what she must be feeling about the situation that unfolded in front of her. Most of you know I have quite a few irrational fears, like flying. But one fear I have that I don't think is irrational or weird, and probably plenty of you who are also American have a fear of, is mass shootings. It doesn't seem like they're that uncommon anymore. So to have one actually happen where we were is indescribably terrible. And my heart absolutely breaks for anyone that was involved in the situation. It's unimaginable. The club we were at is a couple minutes walk away from where the shooting took place, so we were far enough away that we weren't in danger, but we were close enough that when we left, we could see where the cops and the whole thing had taken place, because it's just one street and you can just see down there. It's an extremely sad situation. The two deceased victims were a 14-year-old and a 22-year-old. It's so fucking infuriating to not feel safe anymore out in public because you never know when it might just turn into a mass shooting because two people got upset. Just senseless gun violence over fucking nothing. It is horrifying. It's beyond scary. And at the time, all we knew is what Peyton told us. But when we got into our Uber and were heading home and we all got back safely, that's when we started to see clips of what exactly happened. And one of the clips that we saw, probably the biggest clip that we saw, came from a live streamer who was there.
Oh, they wallin'. They wallin'. They wallin'. No, listen.
The streamer caught a lot of shit for this because he is heard audibly belly laughing about the situation, and you can see him smiling ear to ear here, looking like he just got told the best joke in the world while also being tickled during a shooting. He has made a statement about this. He was replying to someone who gave him the benefit of the doubt, saying, "I don't think enough people know that in traumatic situations, people often react in ways that people who are uninvolved would see as inappropriate. This is how the brain works to protect us in moments of distress." To which he said, "Also, I was very intoxicated. As I said before, I hope everyone made it out safe, and I would never intentionally laugh at a situation like this." I don't think there's enough alcohol in the world to make you drunk enough to laugh during a mass shooting, but what they're describing here about laughing during traumatic situations is a real phenomenon. I am familiar with that. I've seen that before when studying in college. It's something we went over, and I don't necessarily know if I believe him that that's what happened, because he seemed extremely excited, almost celebrating that he was capturing these moments on his stream. Maybe he viewed it as content or perhaps a big break, knowing his stream would be shared around in the news about this. I don't really know. But there is something still very off-putting about the way he responds to it, but I'm just going to go ahead and also give him the benefit of the doubt that perhaps this really is just how he responds to traumatic situations like this. But he did, a couple hours after this happened, make this tweet where he was replying to a news organization that posted his footage talking about the shooting in Ybor, and he said, "Yo, no props is crazy, not gonna lie, but hope everyone in the situation made it out safe." And then someone in the comments called him out saying, so someone said, "Props, this ain't no game, what the fuck?" And then he said, "Not the gun, props like it's my video, and I ain't get credit." This is a very weird response, in my opinion here, because it seems like the first thing on his mind is getting credit for them using that footage, which to me screams that he wants the attention from being the one to capture these moments. I feel like if his primary concern was the safety of all those around them and wishing them well that they got out safely, that would have been his main statement instead of leading with, "It's crazy that I didn't get props, not gonna lie." Like, that to me really rubs me the wrong way, but again, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not going to pretend that I can read his mind. I'm also not trying to direct any harassment his way. This isn't like the focus of the video or anything, but these were the clips that we started to see right after the fact, and all of us were understandably like disturbed by what happened, and then also seeing someone laughing during it was extremely concerning. So I did want to talk about just that for a moment. I have made quite a few videos talking about how I believe there's a lot of influencers out there that just literally don't value human life and they just view the people around them as props. I've made the joke in the past that some of these content creators live by the motto, "Life is temporary, clout is forever," so they'll do anything in pursuit of clout, including perhaps using a shooting as a marketing tool to promote their stream. I hope that's not the case here. I'm not familiar with the streamer, so I can't really speak to their character or anything. I hope this is just one of those like defense mechanisms in a traumatic situation where unfortunately he laughs during it, and it's not him viewing it as some kind of like, you know, piece of content for his stream. But anyway, I'd like to state the obvious real quick, that it genuinely feels unsafe leaving the house. Every time you walk out the front door, it feels like you're taking an extreme risk in a dangerous environment. Even just going somewhere to have fun with your friends can instantly turn into the worst night of your life that changes everything forever because two strangers just randomly start shooting each other over nothing and catching innocent people in the crossfire. One thing that I think is also important if you're not familiar with Ybor is every single night in Ybor, well, at least on the weekends when I've been, they have like 50, at least 50 officers roaming the streets with their patrol cars. Some of them are even on horseback as well. And still, this happened. Even with all of that, this shooting happened in front of like 50 officers being there. Even with a strong police presence, they couldn't prevent 16 to 18 people getting injured in a shooting and 2 people dying from it. So there is a super, super strong police presence in that area where this shooting took place, and there was still nothing they could do to prevent it or stop the loss of life in a random shooting like this. It just happens too quick, and it is so fucking scary. But anyway, I don't want to focus on this for too long. My heart goes out to everyone that was affected by this, and my best wishes with the families of the deceased. That's about it. So yeah. It's been a little while since we just looked at a good old-fashioned embarrassing live streamer, and boy do I have a special specimen to share with you all today. The clip I'm about to show you is brand new. It only happened like 2 days ago, but it feels vintage. It's an IRL public nuisance stream that really does feel straight out of 2018, back when that was a popular genre. It's long dead now, it's fizzled out, but back in like the 2018 era, a very popular category of streaming was IRL, and it was infested with these degenerate worms that would just create as much ruckus in public as they could, try and instigate confrontation, and just be an absolute fucking headache to everyone around them. And the bigger the blow up they could cause, the better the content. It's not popular anymore because the shtick wore off and now it's just kind of pathetic and lame. But just like this guy's hairstyle, he's stuck in the past. This is a 40-year-old man who has a hairstyle of a 14-year-old emo boy. And he is a Kick streamer, he's not a Twitch streamer, but he has risen to notoriety because he has been accused twice now of having sex live on stream at Kick with prostitutes. I haven't seen it myself, so I can't fully opine on that, but goddamn, really going hard on that IRL content.
You see that shit? It's fucking what we do.
Unironically blasting dubstep in a train right now. And then he says, he has the gall, the chutzpah, to say, "This is what we do." Brother, you are stuck 15 years in the past. Holy shit. This is like a video I would have seen on MySpace from a pathetic guy back then, let alone 2023. Jesus Christ. I still can't get over that goofy line. This is fucking what we do. What? Sit there awkwardly in silence while you blast shitty music throughout the train? Like, usually when you say something like that, like, this is what we do, it's right before you do something cool. Like, fucking base jumping, bungee jumping, going out to play in the championship basketball game, like, anything besides just sitting down and blasting dubstep. This guy kind of cements my belief that sometimes people are just born to be a lifelong loser, and there's really nothing you can do to help them or change that trajectory. They are just destined to be a fucking loser. It'd actually be pretty sad if this guy wasn't such an asshole, but you can see the people around him are clearly bothered by the loud dubstep that he is blaring here in this train for no reason other than to be a douchebag. He clearly believes he is the main character here and everyone else is just props for his IRL content. Just genuine filth.
Você. Oi. Você. Don't touch my shit. Don't touch me. Don't touch my shit. Don't touch me. Fuck you, pussy. Fuck you, pussy.
I think it's pretty clear that he's most likely drunk here. As I understand it, he also does coke on stream occasionally, so maybe a little mix of both, some alcohol, some coke in his system, and right now they're waging war inside of his body. But yeah, anyway, edgy Edna Mode here gets up in a hurry after someone touches his device, saying, "Don't touch my shit," and then calling him a fucking pussy as he waddles away, stumbles away. The people around him are already very tired of his presence here. Rightfully so. I imagine even when he's not streaming, he's still probably a very hard person to be around in general. Someone tried to get his attention, most likely to ask him to turn it down, but he ignored him, even though he could clearly hear him, I imagine. So, when that failed, someone else just tried to turn it off themselves.
Fuck you. These motherfuckers touching my shit. I can't get out of here. I can't get out. I just want to go out. Who the fuck do you think you are? Do you want me to turn down my volume?
Yeah.
That's all you.
Speak in the train.
That's all you have to say.
The way this goofball is behaving and the way he's speaking remind me of like an old 80s B-movie bad guy. Like really poorly acted, yet he's being real here, which is wild. Now he said if you wanted me to turn down the volume, all you had to do was ask, even though that was attempted and he just ignored him. I've seen a couple people make the argument that the guy shouldn't have reached for his phone to turn it off. He should have like tapped this guy on the shoulder first. And I guess that's fair to say. But it's not like I have any sympathy for the guy just touching the other dude's phone. He ignored the other guy. He's clearly doing this just to be a nuisance douchebag. Fucking touch his phone, turn it off. Like, fine. I'm not gonna get mad about that. And this guy doesn't have a right to get mad about it either, since this is the whole point of his content. He wanted to make a scene out of this because that's what it's all about for him. So he's getting exactly what he wanted. He doesn't really have a leg to stand on here with getting mad and aggressive. It's exactly what he was looking for.
Instead of being wait. I want to take English to you because you understand English, right? Nah. You know? Chotomate, ne. Speak English to me. Don't
fucking Japanese to us, man.
Uh-oh, big guy's going insano style now. He's whipping out the Speak English card while he's in Japan. So he is now saying that they need to speak English to him, despite him being there in Japan.
Okay, bro. Daijoubu. You see that? You see what happened right here? Fucking motherfuckers. Chill. In English we say chill.
No, in Japanese we say disappear.
Excellent de-escalation tactics here from this guy, truly a master of his craft. A real silver-tongued devil, I'll tell you what. So, a whole conflict that this guy started for the sake of his shitty stream has escalated to a point that now makes him uncomfortable. He seems very scared now that he's about to enter into a physical confrontation. So now he's just saying chill as he's retreating off the train instantly. Like, immediately, ASAP, getting the fuck out of there.
Why are you racist? You're racist.
I am fucking racist.
You are racist, right?
I am.
You're racist.
No.
You're racist, right? He said he was racist. He said it. You see, he said he was racist, man.
That is no racist.
Oh shit, stand back. This guy's using his alt. He's alting. He brought out the racist card somehow in this situation on the other guy, hitting him with that fucking crazy reverse. Good lord, out of nowhere, from the top turnbuckle, he tries to cry racism. Fucking wild maneuver here. Interesting tactics. I don't even know really where to begin on breaking that one down. I don't even think it's necessary. I think that one speaks for itself, honestly. Let the chess speak for itself in this case here, because goddamn, what an embarrassing sign-off to this whole situation. It goes on a little bit further where he, like, shakes this guy's hand, who's being, like, a little less aggressive than the other guy. He's like, oh, thanks for being nice, that guy's not nice. Even though he had every right to not be nice to this guy. Like, I think that's a totally reasonable response to a vermin like this who's just blasting music and refusing to turn it down when someone's trying to get their attention, and then has this huge blow up when you just take matters into your own hands and like turn it down for him. Like, I mean, fuck you. The whole point was the confrontation, right? So why are you gonna act all offended and upset all because a guy actually, played along with what you've started? Anyway, that's really the whole situation. This is just one of those classic embarrassing IRL streamer moments that I thought was worth joking around about and at least, talking about a little bit. It really does feel straight out of 2018, but believe it or not, this is a brand new clip from this week. So, that's interesting. That's really about it. See ya.
You've been raped. No. You should be.
This guy who looks like the result of a botched fusion dance performed by a colonostomy bag and a sloth is Only Use Me Blade. Now I'm sure some of you are thinking Brian was just telling a really shitty, edgy joke, but it's not. Brian, Only Use Me Blade, has a history of sexually harassing women during streams, and earlier this week found himself under more controversy during an RV stream where it appears he gets into a bed with a passed out drunk woman and thrusts. This is all allegedly, nothing is 100% proven, so keep that in mind. All of that in that department is alleged. He is a downright deplorable, revolting, adipose astronaut, a downright shit stain on the internet. He is easily the world's worst streamer. He is a raging alcoholic, serial groper, just groping complete strangers, and he's an animal abuser as well. All of these, all documented. I'll show you what I can. Let me give you a brief history of Only Use Me Blade. Only Use Me Blade rose to popularity during the early days of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. His shtick was he was only using a knife to get his kills, and he did well in the game, but his popularity faded as the game's popularity faded, and he didn't adapt very well. He got big into alcohol and then started streaming. The only reason he maintained even a very small audience is because people were laughing at him. They liked to see him get drunk and fall asleep, pass out, hurt himself, stumble around. That was the only thing that people tuned in to see. He's a degenerate loser. In fact, he was banned on Twitch because he got so drunk he started fingering his asshole for a $20 donation. The only reason people have ever tuned into Brian's stream is to watch him pass out and compete with each other to see who can wake him up with the loudest noise through the computer. That is Brian's whole identity, his legacy, and I'd feel bad for him, but it's hard to feel bad for a skid mark like this guy. Now let me show you his follow-up to when he recently groped a woman on stream and she called him out for it. This is his perspective on it.
I just have a lot of love to give. So if some random fucking ugly whore bitch gets groped, she gets groped. Accept it. You should be fucking welcome, whore. You should be fucking welcome, whore. Seriously, you should be fucking honored that I would ever grope you, you stupid bitch.
What a class act. This guy is the exact person your parents tell you never to end up like. You can genuinely smell him through the computer. Brian struggles with alcoholism, obviously, and it's so bad. He's 36 years old and looks like a fucking walking corpse already, but it's so bad that he has to wear diapers because he frequently shits and pisses himself, and he's been shown on stream putting on his adult diapers, and they're fucking massive diapers. It looks like something that you could put a whole goddamn Ford F-150 into, because this is a big boy taking big shits and big peepees when he's blackout drunk. Now, let me get to the animal abuse.
Alright, let's go.
Animal abuse is all the rage from internet creators these days, and Only Use Me Blade hopped on that bandwagon early. You got Brooke, the girl that put her dog into the dryer. You've got all of these titans in animal abuse on the internet, and Only Use Me Blade was kind of the pioneer who really kicked it off. He's done more than just that, but that was the first clip that I could find, and I didn't really want to go through his entire catalog of absolutely deplorable, disgusting shit. So I think you can pretty well understand how he feels about animals and how he treats them when he's around them, even though he himself is the most vile animal on the internet. Now let's get to the most recent thing where this grotesque dump truck appears to have non-consensual sex with a passed out drunk woman. Now keep in mind, nothing has been 100% proven, so this is all alleged. The incident occurred on an RV trip. It's a stream that they're doing with a bunch of different people. She was on the trip with them. There's multiple different camera angles, and one of the camera angles shows Blade going into the back room where the girl was passed out drunk, and he is stripped down to his boxers and appears to be thrusting on top of the woman. Now, before this alleged incident even occurs, there's a clip right before anything happens where Brian is asking one of the other men that you see in frame here if he should go have sex with the passed out girl in the back. He mentions her by her stream name, and I don't think she wants her name associated with any of this, so I'm not going to show you the clip. But to the guy's response when Brian says this is he just kind of shrugs his shoulders. Every man on this fucking RV that you see here is such a piece of shit. It's unbelievable. It's like this RV is a giant pile of dog shit, and these are just subhuman flies feasting upon it, festering in this cesspool. It's fucking gross. This is the clip where the alleged incident actually is occurring on camera. I've cropped it out so you can't see it, but just out of frame, it seems as though Brian is making a thrusting motion on the bed. He's a massive man, so you can see the covers moving back and forth, and his legs are moving quite a bit as well, trembling under the body weight that they have to support. But this alleged incident is occurring at this time in the clip. Another extremely sad thing about this whole situation is the Reddit community that's trying to defend it. It's like a propaganda machine. They released like an Illuminati video trying to debunk it scientifically, but it's really poorly made, and you can clearly tell it's made by a 15-year-old. And as you can read, their excuse is basically the RV was bouncing, which explains why the covers were moving the way they were, but it doesn't explain why they were moving at the same speed, the same interval during this alleged incident that occurs, and his legs were shaking due to alcohol shakes. And then throws in like this conspiracy bullet point list on why people would be making it up, and it's obviously never even occurred to this psychopath middle school lunch table loner social outcast 15-year-old that the reason people are upset is because they feel as though they may have just witnessed a crime and a really horrible thing, because in this alleged incident the footage looks very bad and disturbing. And for some reason, has these fucking paranoid gang-stalking conspiracy points like, oh, they're coming after our entertainment, the normies are flooding in, white knights. It's unbelievable, and it's just fucking pathetic.
It's not rape if they don't have an orgasm. Fuck it.
And okay, I don't think if this shit is like, I don't think I should just be on stream doing this shit.
That was a clip of the girl reacting to a video that detailed the entire situation, and then she goes offline. I'm gonna give you a quick little montage of Brian groping women on stream. If you just search Only Use Me Blade, the first 20 or so results are just clips of him groping women that aren't interested in him. His name, Only Use Me Blade, is basically just synonymous with vomit and grope.
And the wall. You got a ring. You got a ring. Oh my god. Oh my god, what the fuck? You can't grope me! You broke me on my head. I don't know where
You have some big ass titties, baby. No, bring them on back. Bring them on back.
Oh yeah, it's worth mentioning, all of this is after he's purged YouTube of the clips of him groping and sexually harassing and assaulting women. Yeah, he also abuses copyright takedown shit. He is the max level of pathetic loser on this fucking planet. It's unbelievable. So, Blade, you're probably watching, if you can even keep your eyes open for this long without puking on yourself and falling over. You're a fucking menace. You fucking suck. You're a horrible person. I don't know who's watching you. Well, that's a lie. I do know who's watching you. It's the people just there to make fun of you in the stream chats, because that's kind of all you're there for, just like a punching bag for those people to make fun of you. I don't know if you're proud of that or not, but you do get donations for it that are insulting you to your face, so I guess that's cool for you too, I guess. But anyway, ordinarily I'd feel bad for someone like Brian, because he does struggle with a genuine condition, alcoholism. But he uses it like a superpower to be the worst possible person on the planet and make money off. Easily the worst streamer out there. That's it. So yeah.